Live from the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium on the campus of Placer High School, Touchdown Productions, celebrating our 19th season of local sports excellence, is proud to present the CIF Sac Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tires Division III basketball playoffs. Tonight, in round 2 action, your PVL champion number 4 seed, Placer Hillmen, take on the TCC champions and number 5 seed, Inderkum Tigers. Winner advances into the section semifinals next Wednesday, and all of that action is coming up right here, right now. This is your NorCal Game of the Week. Well, there's one final game to be played in the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium this season, and it's a number 4 versus a number 5 seed playoff game that will be as exciting as the first round game 1 1-point victory over Rio Linda. The Placer Hillmen take on the Tri-County League once again in the Inderkum Tigers. Hello, basketball fans, wherever you are across our worldwide network. This is Paul Brown, joined tonight by our play-by-play announcer, Super Steve Sitter. Our producer and director outside in the Commander 2 is Gilbert M. Dominguez, and he's joined by the rest of the Touchdown Production Sport team, Cody Hitchcock, Giovanni Paolo, and making his Game of the Week debut, Dylan Peshik. So, Steve, we're watching the boys out on the floor. Last Wednesday, the Game of the Week was at NU, and their first playoff game ended since 2012. Meanwhile, the Hillmen are battling for their playoff lives tonight against Rio Linda.
Well, actually, Rio Linda was on Wednesday,
That's
Paul, while
true,
you guys were
Steve.
out of Union.
It's written down right here, though, so that's why I said it. But
Although it was a fantastic game here on Wednesday, and it took the Hillmen overtime to send Rio Linda packing, and a dramatic three-point shot by number 15, Giovanni Roberts, to seal the win and give them another game here at home. Both Rio Linda and Inderkum are co-champions of the Tri-County Conference at 10-2. So it's been an all-TCC playoffs for the Hillmen as they face another Tri-County champion tonight.
you said it. You could have said it better, Steve. And so both teams are out on the floor, as you can see, and we're minutes away from the tip-off of this championship game. And when we come back, we'll take a little walk around the foothills, take a look at the playoff grids and how things are shaping up. So be sure to join us every week right here at touchdownproductions.com for the latest in sports action and community events.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Back here at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium at Placer High School, there is Coach Mark Lee, and there is myself and Steve Sitter. This is Super Steve, who will be bringing you this game tonight. Steve, talk to me about what you think these two teams are going to encounter from each other.
Very similar styles of offense,
please,
I'd imagine. Both of these teams are averaging just about the same amount of points this year. In fact, if you take a look at Rio Linda stats and Inderkum stats, they are very similar. The 2 times those 2 teams faced each other, the score was the same, 65-62, and they ended up splitting. So, same score, different result. It's very interesting that these 2 teams finished with the same record, basically the same statistics, and one team gets the 5 seed, one team gets the 13 seed. Very, very interesting. You don't usually see that, and you especially don't see co-champions in consecutive rounds of playoff action, but that's what Placer has tonight.
Right.
And after that overtime win on Wednesday, you have to wonder, they only have 9 players on their team. Do they have the depth to play another champion-level team?
Right, and last night we saw the NU Miners having exactly that problem. They basically ran out of gas at the end, and that's who wins these ball games. This conditioning and who really wants it in the last 4 minutes of the game.
So with that said, let's take a look at the playoff grids this year, and there is tonight's game. Number 5 Inderkum pretty handily defeating number 12 Benicia 74-46, and Placer in that overtime victory just squeaking out on top of number 13 Rio Linda. And again, Inderkum, Rio Linda, same records in league, an 8-point difference in seeding in the playoffs, but that's what Placer has in front of them, and Inderkum has every chance to pull off an upset tonight.
And let's talk about Inderkum real quick. They were 10-2 in league play, 20-7 overall for their season. And it's something interesting, Steve, you brought up. They had a split against Rio Linda for the season. It's one of their few losses, but that is one team that Placer has beat.
That's right, Placer has defeated them in their one and only meeting. Even then, it was a pretty close game, though.
It is true.
Moving on to the Division II boys basketball grid, number 1 Sacramento. Of course, moving on against Vacaville, they will face number 9 Ponderosa as they pulled off a minor upset over Nevada Union, which was the game of the week on Wednesday.
Back over to girls Division IV basketball. Placer, we saw that game right here on touchdownproductions.com, beating Livingston to move on to playoffs. Awfully strong Placer girls team. They will play Sonora. I'm sorry, Steve, I can't hear in my headset.
Placer played Sonora yesterday, and they pulled off a minor upset of their own, 69-43. That is not at all bad for a team that was not supposed to win. And of course, they will be heading to Brookside Christian. Actually, never mind. They are playing at Tokay High School against Brookside Christian on Tuesday, March 1st. And that will be the semifinal match. The winner of that game will take on the winner of Venture Academy and West Campus, the 2 and 3 seeds.
And that Placer girls team, I got to tell you, of all the teams we're watching and covering, they have a chance, I think, to really run the table. They could go all the way this year.
There's the other half of the Division IV girls basketball grid. Venture Academy, after defeating Ripon on Tuesday, they went on to beat the number 6 Colfax 50-27. Venture Academy having an amazing year. They will have their hands full, I think, with West Campus on Tuesday at 7:30 over at Tokay High School, but Colfax putting in an excellent
tonight, though, we've got the game of the week, and I think this Placer Hillmen boys team has a very, very good chance of moving on to the third round of the playoffs. They are going to take on the Inderkum Tigers. And that will be right here on touchdownproductions.com, as you can see.
And the winner of this game will head to Galt High School on Wednesday, March 2nd for their semifinal match. But while we get set for the tip-off and the player introductions, we will step aside one last time here at the touchdownproductions.com game of the week. We'll be back with the tip-off.
Magnuson's Toyota and Scion is celebrating 25 years serving you in the foothills. Right now, Magnuson's carries the first all-electric SUV, and they're still the home of the Toyota Tundra. Magnuson's Dodge Chrysler Jeep is right down the street and features the new Ram diesel truck, Jeep Wranglers, and Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's Magnuson's Auburn Toyota and Magnuson's Dodge, both in Auburn.
Back at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium, where we have the players standing on the court. And let's throw it courtside for tonight's national anthem.
Tonight we have a special treat. Members of the Placer High Choir will sing the national anthem. To introduce them, we have Brandon Lopez, a senior, Jeremy Rose, a sophomore, Nick Ward, a senior, Allison Lloyd, a junior, Amy Bodick, a senior, Cammie Poplin, freshman, Jonathan Rutz, a freshman, and Sierra Hickman, a junior.
Very good, as good as you ever get. The Placer Choir. Excellent rendition of the national anthem. What a treat.
More than makes up for the absence of the Placer band tonight in the Earl
Now
Crabbe.
to introduce the starting lineup.
So now on to the starters for these teams.
TCC Inderkum Tigers. Number 0, Tariq Bible.
Tariq Bible, number 0, a 6'4 junior.
Number 3, Ray Feltus.
Rajan Feltus, a 5'11 junior.
Number 13, Isaiah Crocker.
Number 14, Isaiah Crocker, a 6'1 sophomore.
Upchurch.
Number 24,
And number
Raymond
44,
Upchurch.
Anthony Martell.
And number 44, Anthony Martell, who I understand broke an Inderkum school record with 9 3-pointers.
That's what I was told by the coach, Steve.
Number 3, a senior.
He said that record lasted for 10 years.
Starting for Placer, number 3,
Number
Marcus
4,
Ante.
a senior, Ryan Jenkins.
Number 4, Ryan Jenkins.
Number 15, senior, Gio Roberts.
Number 15, Giovanni Roberts.
Number 25, senior, Jack Kern.
Number 25, Jack Kearns.
And number 35, a senior, Xavier
And number
Lovelace.
35, Xavier Lovelace.
So all seniors starting on the floor for Placer High School tonight. They have a distinct home vantage, Steve, being in the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium. This box can really resonate the sound, and it's a fun gym to watch a game and play a game.
Well, the opening tip, I will imagine, will be Xavier Lovelace at 6'5" against Tariq Bible at 6'4". So just a 1-inch difference between the two, and that is exactly what we will see. Lovelace, of course, a wide receiver on the Placer football team.
And Marcus Ante was, of course, the quarterback. Great athletes.
A couple of two-sport athletes at least. I'm sure they also do track in the spring. Most football players do. And here we go, tip 1, pretty cleanly by Tariq Bible. So the Inderkum Tigers will have the first possession. There's a 3 in the corner, up and no good. Now they come up with the rebound's actually contested, and Placer ends up with it. And a full court press put on, quickly broken by Hillmen. Down low, and we're going to have a kicked ball, so Placer will inbound under the basket.
Inbounding will be Ryan Jenkins.
Down low, kicked back out to Kearns. Over to Ante, Lovelace. Down low, wide open. That's Ryan Jenkins.
Jenkins gets his first 2 of the night, breaks the ice for Placer.
Excellent movement away from the ball on that possession for the Hillmen. Bible kicks out for Upchurch. Long 3 up on the way and no good. Lovelace boxes out, gets the rebound. Shot fake, kick out, 3 on the way from Kearns, no good. And quickly up, but that pass was knocked away by Roberts. And then Roberts mishandles, and it will go right back to the Tigers.
Still saving a 2-point conversion, though, in that fast break.
Both teams really challenging these inbounds, and that results in a steal for Roberts. Quickly up, Lovelace backs off, 3 open for Roberts. No good, but the rebound's taken by Ante. Ante with the off-balance runner through the hands of Jenkins. Quickly up for Bible. Bible trying to draw a foul, no good, but an offensive rebound. And a fresh shot clock. And that was just a great individual effort there by Isaiah Crocker. Lovelace takes the mid-range shot, and he hits it.
They're giving Lovelace those shots. He's going to get the 10-footer. He's going to make them all night long.
And he has a nice subtle shot fake, too.
Yes, he does.
And a quick timeout called by Coach Hamer. So with 5:55 left in the first quarter, we will have our first break of the night. Platte leads 4-2 here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Back at Placer High School, Inderkum Tigers will inbound down 2-4. Just a minute 5 played in this game. Very quick timeout called by Coach Hamer in this game.
Good time to settle your boys down. Both teams a little nervous, as they, I'm sure, will be in a playoff game like this.
Crocker drives. No good, gets his own rebound. And nice defense from Ryan Jenkins. There was a lot of contact down there. That's a bit out of the range of Roberts. 17 on the shot clock. Ante pressured up high. Shot clock down to 8 now. Lovelace thought about the long shot. Shot clock's down to 3. They're going to have to throw it up from half court.
Oh! That's a gift.
That would be Giovanni Roberts, of course.
Probably the longest shot he's made all year, maybe in his career.
And there is a jump ball.
I'll tell you what, Isaiah Crocker wants to push it. Here's that three-point shot, and he's just there. They're counting it down in the stands, so he decides to launch the prayer, and he is answered. Bang!
At the other end of the court, Isaiah Crocker tried to just drive straight to the basket, and he got tied up. Possession arrow favors the Hillmen, so they inbound and have it in Inderkum territory. Down low to Lovelace. Lovelace, nice move to get the open look.
Lovelace is getting position wherever he wants it right now. He's just bullying his way on the floor.
Inderkum quickly up court. And there, finally, Isaiah Crocker able to draw the foul. Oh, excuse me, that's Tariq Bible.
That is Bible. Bible's averaging about 10 points a game. I talked to Coach Rodney Hamer. He says Bible is athletic and a great scorer.
Foul is called on Giovanni Roberts. The first free throw is a bit short.
Coach Hamer also said that Tyreek Bible also gets about 15 rebounds a game.
Well, he misses both free throws, and the rebound is taken by Kearns.
We'll watch Marcus Andy bring it up.
Gives to Lovelace. Lovelace puts it up and in.
Great dish off by Ante. Great finish by Lovelace.
That's Anthony Kennedy in the game now for Inderkum. He came in at the timeout. Nice ball handling. Gives off to Bible. Bible puts it up. No good. Well, the referees are really letting these guys play. He tried to slam that ball,
Steve. Did he go up for a two-handed slam?
Not with two Hillmen there. Lovelace in the corner. Skip pass. That's picked off. And up and no good. Second, third chance finally put in.
Looks like it was number 14.
That was Anthony Martell.
Was it Martell? Yep.
3 on the way for the Hillmen, no good. Lovelace got bumped in the back, but tonight these boys are just going to be playing hard. Referees are definitely swallowing their whistles. That pass goes out of bounds. A few more subs will come in, including Chris Brooks for Inderkum, senior captain.
I thought that was C.
Chris Brooks, who was in on the full court press, trying desperately to get that inbound pass. Now guards Marcus Ante. Ante with a nice crossover, and he draws the foul.
Marcus Ante is a leader on this team. They're better when he is on the floor, no doubt. I like the way he plays. I like his game. I like his focus. It's just like when he was a quarterback for this high school.
That foul is on Chris Brooks, one of the two captains for the Tigers. Placer inbounds. And let's see what this is. I can only imagine that the clock didn't run or there was some other time issue, which is why they're inbounding farther out.
Inderkum's now gone to a stiff man-to-man.
Jenkins had a nice layup on the way, and now a 2-on-2. And that's going to be a travel. Yeah, Brooks thought he had that extra step, but you can't essentially jump twice. Kind of a tweener pass, nicely caught by Roberts, flips it up, no good. Ball's out of bounds off of Raymond Upchurch. So Placer will get it with 34 on the shot clock. 2:39 remaining in the first quarter. 11-4. Placer leads. There's a quick three from Roberts. Doesn't get the bounce, but Ryan Jenkins gets the second chance.
Jenkins, one of the smallest players on the floor, all by himself under the basket for that offensive putback.
5'9". Nice moves to get to the basket and drawing the foul, Chris Brooks.
Take a look at that previous Placer basket here coming back at you. And Jenkins, you see him just in good position. That comes from a player just having good basketball sense and good coaching.
Back to live action. Brooks hits his first free throw.
In the game now for Placer, number 10, Akita. And also, Steve, I believe we had another, oh yes, number 23 came on, Fiera.
Well, Brooks hits them both. 13-6 Placer leads. So Placer with a quick lead, giving their starters some rest early in this game. That shot's blocked by Rajan Feltus.
That's just good defense.
Down in the corner, three on the way. No good. And what's this call going to be? That's out of bounds.
That was number 44 trying that three ball. That's Anthony Martell. Martell, like we said earlier, had 9 threes in the game to break the school record.
Placer gets up court, 25 on the shot clock. Oh, and there's a nice steal from Crocker. Crocker with the spin move, puts it up, no good, but gets his own rebound. Throws it back, Martell for three, and he hits that one.
That makes the score 9-13-9 Placer.
And Coach Lee for Placer takes his first timeout. Quick turnaround by the Tigers. Going from down 7 to down 4, and that's the power of the three ball.
So as we watch the Placer cheerleaders, let me tell you something. I went down and asked, well, we'll look at the spin move first. This is incredible athleticism for a high school player. Left foot, right foot, great spin move. Misses the shot at the top, but he's got some backup there from his other teammates as we see Martell fire down the flawless three.
Yeah, perfect shot, wide open. Placer converged in the paint, trying to prevent Crocker from getting a second chance, but no one picked up Martell at the top of the key. Quickly ahead to Lillis. There's the runner. Roberts, no good. Flies out of bounds, stays with the Hillmen.
Great drive to the basket. Just couldn't quite finish it.
Roberts is going to come back in for Aikida. Ante guarded by Bible. Ante lays it up, no good. Second chance, third chance, no good, and Bible finally comes down with it. A shot fake, there's another long three, and that one's good from Martell.
They weren't kidding about this guy, Anthony Martell. That was way outside the three line.
Ante brings it up and kicks it. Up ahead, there's Crocker. And Crocker couldn't corral it. Well, he'll take the three, though. That's a bit short. He gets another rebound. Flip pass to Bible. Bible throws it back out. And that ball is almost knocked away. Long three, and that's good. That was Isaiah Crocker.
So the Tigers are shooting their way back in this thing with three balls, Steve.
Just like that, they've got a 2-point lead. Roberts for three. That was nicely defended. That save comes back out to Roberts. Skips past Ante, but it is corralled. There's no shot clock. Game clock down to 3.1. And Inderkum will have a chance to get some sort of shot in 3 seconds.
Lillis tried a great pass. It was an excellent idea. Just couldn't deliver the ball.
So we have some confusion. Aikida was waiting to sub in and never got the buzzer. So they will have to reset the clock, I'm assuming, because it counted down 0.6 of a second. And that's what the confusion is about. So we'll do it over. And they put 3.5, so they actually gave him 0.4 of a second for their trouble. Heaves it down court, and that is picked off by Lillis. Lillis will throw it about 2 feet short.
Full court, yeah.
Yeah, he was nowhere close to that. And at the end of the first quarter, the Inderkum Tigers make a huge late quarter push, and they'll head to the second quarter up by 2, 15-13. Well, AC/DC and the Placer cheerleaders.
So we'll take you to break now. We'll see you in 30 seconds. This is TouchdownProductions.com.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Back at Placer High School, Paul Brown and Steve Sitter with you here as Placer is down by 2 heading into the second quarter, thanks in no small part to the long ball, and Inderkum having about 3 players that are fearless from beyond the line.
You know, they got up 11-2, Steve, early, and everybody in the place knew that wasn't real. That was a fluke. We knew it was going to be a lot closer than that as we start here the second quarter.
And Inderkum will inbound. There's a long three on the way. Just doesn't get the roll. Rebound almost comes out of bounds, but nicely corralled. And Placer picks off the pass. Loveless will pull up. He's outnumbered. Takes the three, though, off the back of the rim. And I can't say how much contact is going on down on the court. There were about 4 fouls just in that sequence that could have been called and haven't. We only have three total fouls called in that very physical first quarter. So Placer gets the benefit of the possession arrow. And they will get a 30-second shot clock down to 25 now. Pass almost gets away from Jenkins. And now we have a foul called. And that'll be the second on Chris Brooks. Inderkum only has 2 team fouls, and they're both on Brooks. Placer inbound. Loveless just recovers. That has no dribble, has to throw it in. And that's picked off. That's Crocker once again. And Crocker will draw a foul, I believe, although
I'm going to take a minute here and apologize to Dylan Pishik, who is one of our new cameramen tonight. He's down below me, and I didn't know who he was. I wasn't going to let him get to his camera. Sorry about that, Dylan. Welcome aboard.
The foul is actually called on Jordan Ferreira, even though it looked like Crocker threw an elbow down there. Must have been in response. Oh, Inderkum in no hurry here. This is the slowest they've moved all game. Into the corner, three, up and good.
Is there anybody on this team that can't shoot a three?
That was Raymond Upchurch. Drive up, no good. Rebound comes out. 3-on-3 developing, and that will be a foul on Jordan Ferreira, his second in about 1 minute.
6:39 left here.
Suddenly the referees are remembering that they have to call fouls.
You know, there are two schools of thought on that, Steve. If I was an official, we got 2 championship teams here. I'm going to let them play a little more than normal, too.
Well, the first quarter they called 3 fouls. In a minute and a half, they've called 3 in this quarter. There's the drive from Shedrick. No good. Loveless with the rebound. Placer will get it quickly up to Roberts. Roberts throws up a prayer and gets it, although I think he got the wind knocked out of him right there.
He went down pretty hard. A lot of water on the floor. They're going to need to get that fixed up.
And the dissent you hear is from the Placer crowd.
Let's watch the replay, Steve. And you know, this is a prayer. He goes up and he puts the ball in his left hand here, gives it a little flip, hoping just to get the foul, I think, and ends up with a hoop.
I mean, he did a lot. He did a lot to get the foul, and I'm sure most of the people in this gym thinks he should have been rewarded with one.
I agree. On that point, Steve, I'll agree.
Either way, Roberts puts Placer a couple points closer. They trail 18-15. Roberts is going to take a quick breather on the bench. And there's a quick pick by Jenkins, and Jenkins throws it in.
And Jenkins couldn't have had a steal at any more opportune time. That was well needed.
There's another 3 on the way. That's no good, but the rebound taken by Upchurch. Upchurch throws it up and gets the roll. Just gets 2 out of it, though. And Placer quickly up. There's a 3 on the way from Lillis, and Lillis hits it.
He wanted that ball. He called for the ball, set his feet, and fired down a flawless 3.
Not bad for a 6'8" center. He tied this game up at 20. 5:44 remaining in the second quarter. Placer mounting a nice comeback to get back in this game. Almost picked off by Lillis. And now we've got a foul. And they're going to call this a shooting foul.
Tyreek Bible is going to get a couple from the line. I think the ball was knocked out and he was fouled prior to the shot, but
I'm inclined to agree with you. The foul called on Jack Kearns, his second. And Bible is 0 for 3 from the line. Roberts is going to come in now for Kearns. And Bible finally makes a free throw. Also his first point of the night.
Very evenly matched contest. The score clearly shows an even matchup, but these two teams, size-wise, speed-wise, obviously two very, very talented teams.
Well, there's a reason there's only one seed between them.
Right.
In fact, there's no seeds between them. They're right next to each other. Lillis walks it in, and he's going to get called.
There's a little bit of a trip there.
Yeah, that's going to be a defensive foul. It's really hard to predict now what's going to be called a foul and what isn't. And Paul, I'm sure you're sharing in my confusion here. There's a three from Jenkins in the corner, no good. Lovelace gets the rebound. Second chance, no good. And now there's a 3-on-1 the other way. First chance, no good. Second chance, finally a foul is called.
That should have been a jump ball. You know, he had a bad look. He called that foul from behind them. There was no foul there, but trust me, the Placer
jump ball is what the call is. The referees talked about it. It's a jump ball.
Oh, they're going to change it. Good for them. That's the first time I've ever seen a crowd reaction actually change a call.
Actually, I'm going to correct myself. Looking up at the scoreboard, Marcus Ante got called for the foul. That's the 6th team foul on Placer. So it'll be free throws for the rest of the half for the Tigers. Now we have a discussion over at the scorer's table. The head referee is having a conversation. This appears to be a time issue, as 5:08 is on the scoreboard right now with 34 on the shot clock. And they ticked it off to 5:07. Well, this is playoff basketball. Every second counts, they say. Almost a backcourt, but nicely corralled.
Solid man defense by Placer.
And nice hitting the runner. No good. Second chance, no good. Lovelace comes up with it. Inderkum getting a lot of chances. A lot of second chances, especially in the paint.
See the way Tyreek Bible's playing above the rim there. Surprised he didn't get that tip.
Crocker knocks it out of bounds. No Placer to inbound. 23 on the shot clock. And that pass nicely read by Feltus. Feltus gives it. Dunk is no good. Again, a lot of contact going up into that dunk. That pass almost picked off. Lovelace from just in front of the free throw line, in and out. Crocker has it, 21-20 as he gets double teamed, dribbles out of it, and draws the foul. So team foul number 7, this will be free throws.
Well, watch the dunk or the try-it dunk. He goes in for the tomahawk and unfortunately hits the back of the iron.
Well, he went through the arm of Jeremy Lillis to get there. You'd think that would be a foul, if anything, but as it stands, Isaiah Crocker will shoot a 1-and-1.
I can't imagine how embarrassing it must be to miss a dunk like that, Steve. I could never touch the rim.
Well, think of it this way. Crocker's 6'1", Lillis is 6'8".
Right.
And he had to go through his entire arm just to get to the rim. So he hits both free throws, gets it the hard way. 4:05 left in the second quarter. Roberts thought about going baseline. Lillis for Lovelace. Lovelace up, no good, but that's going to be offensive goaltending.
They're going to give him two, and they're going to give
He's
the side out.
He went through the rim is the call. So that is defensive goaltending, I should say. And 2 points for Xavier Lovelace.
22-22, 3:56 left here. Playoff action at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium, Placer High School.
And Inderkum leads by 1. There's a 3 in the corner from Martell. No good. Rebound taken by Upchurch. Runner, no good. Third chance. No good. Lovelace comes down with it. (23-22). Pass to Roberts. Roberts couldn't handle it. Well, this is certainly a basketball game of streaks. And right now, neither team is on the good streak. There's the prayer thrown up, no good, no foul called. Roberts behind Lovelace. Lillis for 3. Why not? Lillis for 3.
There's your three-point shooter. Your big man out from the top of the key. When he's scoring threes, you got something going on.
Crocker again trying to draw the foul. Nothing doing from the referees. Roberts splits the D, and there's a foul.
I believe that will be on Bible.
No, that's on Crocker, his first.
Bible was one on the floor here. Let's see. Yeah, it is on Crocker, sure enough. Let's watch the replay. We'll be able to see. But stepping in, there's the reach in, sure enough, and Bible's right there.
Yeah, Bible was there trying to take the charge if Crocker hadn't fouled Roberts first. Down low for Lillis, and Lillis is fouled. And that foul is again going to be on Crocker, his second. Still just 5 team fouls for Inderkum with 2:46 left in the second quarter. That inbound pass is knocked out of bounds by Justin Shedrick. And we're going to have another conversation with the scorers table here. Right now, the game clock is at 2:45, and they just ticked 1 second off of the shot clock, so they now have 34 seconds. So they lost a second on the shot clock, but not on the game clock. Quickly to Lillis. Lillis muscles his way forward. Can't get the first try, and there will be no second try as Raymond Upchurch came down decisively with that rebound.
They call him Max, Raymond Upchurch, and he can climb the ladder, can't he? He can get up.
He's listed as 6'1", but he can get way above the rim. There's a 3 on the way. No good. Rebound comes all the way back out to Shedrick. And a fresh shot clock for the Tigers. Shedrick against Lillis. He tucks it home, and that's going to be another jump ball.
And it'll stay with the Tigers.
So Placer with a 2-point lead with just over 2 minutes remaining. Down low, shot from Feltus, and Feltus hits it. His first 2 points of the night. And I'm not sure what this whistle is for.
They tapped the ball out of bounds. Now they're going to call it. They're going to call it a Tiger ball. That the ball was touched knocked out of bounds, and now they're going to say it was off Lillis. And from the body language of Lillis, I think he knows he was caught.
So that will be a Placer turnover. That was an interesting little give and go from out of bounds, but nicely put in by Feltus. Now we're under 2 minutes as Roberts should have been called for a travel, but he got away with it. Lovelace waits patiently, gets 2.
Great move by Lovelace, letting it clear and then taking the basket.
Baseline drive blocked by Lovelace.
That was a full hand palm swat back by Lovelace, and now he scores another. And the Hillmen crowd are on their feet. 29-27.
Nice pull-up jumper by Max Upchurch. That makes it 29 all.
Upchurch, the sophomore.
And how about Roberts? And now both teams are on a hot streak.
They're getting in the rhythm. Here's
long range 2, no good, and Lillis corrals it, waiting for some help. And we've got a foul. That foul's going to be on Shedrick.
Turn your mic up, please, Gil.
There's a nice shot fake by Lovelace. Get his defender up in the air. So 31-29, Placer leads, 53.1 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Both teams are in the bonus. Ante gets it into the half court. That pass was intended for Lovelace, but it got tipped. And Ante tries to steal it back and does. 3-on-1 the other way. Meanwhile, Jenkins gets tackled. 2-on-1 for Inderkum. Shot up, good, and 1.
That was some kind of rugby football going on there for a while. You see that on the playground.
The referees were just letting it happen too. Anthony Martell ends up on the floor with 2 points to tie it up. Chance for a third. Let's take a look at the sequence.
Let's watch this thing going on here. Ending up with a behind-the-back pass. But there's 1, 2, 3 times it's turned over. Now watch the behind-the-back perfectly laid into Martell, who gets the bank shot. And we'll stand on the line to see if he can convert the three-pointer.
Well, we've got a stoppage in play. I'm not sure this was ever a timeout. No, it was not. They were just cleaning the sweat off the floor under the basket.
We got ourselves a playoff basketball game, huh, Steve?
Certainly appears that way to me. 31 all, 32 seconds left in the first half. 1 free throw for Anthony Martell, who leads his team with 10 points. And make that 11.
Back in the game now, number 34, Upchurch.
That would be Milo Upchurch, a 6'4 sophomore. Shot clock is off, 31 seconds left in the second half.
Martell is seated.
And look at that steal from Brooks. Brooks puts it up, no good. Quickly up, 2-on-1, Lovelace. He gets away with a travel. Let's call that for what it was. Down to 12 seconds. Ante swatted. 5 seconds left. Feltus runs around, and he travels.
Feltus was fouled twice on the way down the floor.
There's 1/10 of a second on the clock, and that will do it.
Wow.
For the first half, 32-31.
You know, the thing I'm impressed with most is the speed of this game. The way they're handling the ball, the way they're getting back up and down the court, the passing, unbelievable. I'm looking forward to seeing a great second half.
Paul, think back to that entire first half, and then remember, there were only 14 fouls called.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, there's your line score, touchdownproductions.com. You can see it's just a dead heat in this horse race as we round the clubhouse turn. 31-32 as the Placer Hillmen will go into the locker room down only by one. This is anybody's game, Steve.
And this is about what we thought coming into this game. This is what it would be. Two similar styles of offense, and pretty much if there's some defense, that's fine, but they're going to score.
Right. Here we are. I'll sit back down so I am not towered over by Super Steve.
Which is fairly unusual. Usually at 6'4", I'm the one doing the towering, but Paul, you got to take what you can get, really.
So with that said, we come to the first half is over. We'll look forward to an excellent second half of basketball here at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium. There's your score, 31-32. Placer trailing by only a point. We'll be back for the second half. This is your Touchdown Productions NorCal Game of the Week.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our fourth location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back here at Placer High School, and you see the TouchdownProductions.com scoreboard. The Inderkum Tigers lead by one at the half, 32-31, and it has been a wild first half of basketball. Steve Sitter along with Paul Brown. And Paul, what did you see in that first half besides a whole lot of scoring?
Well, two teams that are very, very interested in winning a basketball game won. Neither team was going to allow the other to get any kind of a points advantage. About the time Placer got down by a few points, they rallied back, and same thing with the Tigers. Both of these teams are two games deep in the playoffs. They're looking for a third game.
And you see the boys Division III basketball bracket. Placer had to go into overtime to beat Rio Linda, which is in the same conference as Inderkum, finished with the same league record. Rio Linda finished their season 18-10 overall. Inderkum was 20-7. Still very even teams. I am shocked that they were 8 seeds apart when this playoff started. But Placer, they had to beat one TCC champion to get here, and now they have to beat another one. That's a tough road.
We talked about this at the beginning of the game, Steve, but this game, as fast as it is being played in the first half, conditioning is going to play a big part in it. This is going to be who's got legs in the last quarter, because you can bet that it's going to be a 2-3 point game with 3 or 4 minutes left. At least that's my prediction.
Well, a lot of the Placer players are basketball players, are football players, I should say. They're all basketball players out here tonight, but they are football players in the fall as well, especially Ante and Lovelace, the quarterback-wide receiver combination. And we've seen them very active in tonight's game. Ante is the only starter that does not have a point, well, actually, along with Jack Kearns. Lillis has 6 off the bench, but Lovelace leads the team with 12. Roberts has 6, and Jenkins with 6. Roberts has 7, actually, to give him all the points that he is due. Inderkum on the other side, Crocker has 7. Raymond Upchurch has 7. Anthony Martell has 11. Feltus with 3. Brooks with 2. And Bible with 1. So they have the scoring a little bit more spread out, but those are all long balls, essentially. Not a lot of points in the paint tonight. It's going to be perimeter shooting that wins this game. Whoever can stay hot the longest, I think.
Don't forget Touchdown Productions Game of the Week. Tune in each week. Subscribe and find us on Facebook. For those of you that are local, we have DVDs that go back 19 years.
Well, it looks like we're about ready to start the second half. Placer will inbound. Again, they trail the Inderkum Tigers 32-31. No player has more than 2 fouls, so foul trouble not really an issue. Lovelace dribbles into a double team, gets it stolen. 3-on-2 developing the other way. Inderkum manages to recover. And we've got a whistle well away from the ball. Not really sure what that was all about.
They're going to give the ball back to the Tigers.
They reset the shot clock for some reason, but they put it back down to 27. I think that was what the whistle was for.
He stepped in bounds as he was inbounding the ball.
Well, that's a quick Inderkum turnover, and Placer gets another chance to get back on top. That's Roberts with it, trying to get some separation. Shot clock down to 17. Loveless to Ante. Shot clock's down to 5 now. Roberts has it. Throws it down low, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Actually, no, they're just going to say it's out of bounds. No shot clock violation. Just out of bounds on Jenkins.
It was going to be one or the other.
And a nice individual effort from Isaiah Crocker. That's 9 for the sophomore. 6-1. 34-31 is the score. Now we've got a foul called away from the ball. That's going to be on Tariq Bible. That's his second. Quick into Loveless. Loveless throws it up, no good. Crocker, open lane, and he missed another dunk.
That's the third missed dunk we've seen tonight.
3. Third chance, no good. And we've got a foul. This is going to be on Jenkins, and he knows it. Jenkins boxed out a little too effectively.
I mean, you got to give him style points, Steve. Going up for that slam, clearly it was above the rim. Looked like it was going down, but he just cost his team 2 points on style points.
Yeah, he did try and tomahawk it. Wide open, another miss.
There's another one.
That ball is going to be dribbled around a bit by Roberts. Jenkins for 3, no good. Comes all the way out. That's going to be stepped out of bounds.
Let's watch that missed dunk here. He goes up and watch. You're right, Steve. It's a classic tomahawk. Look how high above he is of the rim, and should have had it. His team wishes he had it.
No one for Placer was even close to defending that. Ante to Loveless. Loveless, no good. Second chance is good.
Passed it to himself off the backboard.
Handy if you can manage it. And Placer trails by 1 once again. Bible with the fake. Another fake. Crocker takes it from way downtown. Gets his own rebound. Thought about taking it again. Gives it off. There's a 3 on the way from Upchurch. No good. A lot of Hillmen were up there. And now we're going to have a foul call on Ante. You got to give it to the Tigers, Paul. They are going after every rebound and every loose ball.
They clearly have more energy coming out after the half, Steve. They are all over it. They're swarming. But the points are still the same. They're only up by 1.
And that was just a spot of bad luck in that sequence. There were 3 Hillmen that had hands on the ball, and neither one of them could secure it. So fresh shot clock. Loveless goes up for the interception, and he gets it. Roberts. Not Roberts, excuse me, Kearns. And that's a charge.
That was Jack Kearns, and Jack just basically ran him over. I think Coach Lee's seen enough, and he wants to take a timeout.
That's also the 3rd foul on Jack Kearns, the 6'3" senior. And Coach Lee does, in fact, take a timeout.
Here's a replay on that, and there's no doubt about it. He sets his feet, and watch, the train just keeps it coming.
Yeah, he took a knee right to the stomach. That'll usually get you a sympathy call at the very least.
So let me tell you a funny story, Steve. Before the game started, I talked to Kennedy Skinner, one of the cheerleaders here. I think she's right there at the bottom of your screen. And standing around a crowd of her other cheerleader mates, I asked her to be funny, so which one of these guys do you find to be the hottest? And she looks me right in the eye and says, all of them. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kennedy.
The touchdownproductions.com scoreboard. There's 3 points scored so far in this quarter. There is 5:12 remaining still, but Inderkum manages to stay on top 34-33. Although I think Placer has 2 points in this quarter. Yep, that would make it 33. 2 points this quarter for Placer. Tigers will inbound. Placer still with that soft full court press. Martell loses it. Jumper no good. And that goes out of bounds. And that will be Placer ball, even though I think that rolled off of Lillis's leg.
I think you're right. We had a good view from that from up here.
Lillis did a pretty good job of selling it. I will give him that. Lillis has it now to Lovelace. 3 on the way from Roberts. No good. And this time Lillis does knock it out of bounds. And getting up rather slowly is Tariq Bible. Referee having a quick chat with him to make sure he's all right. Feltus is going to come out. Chris Brooks will come in. Rare you see a senior captain that doesn't start, but that is the case here with Inderkum. And Chris Brooks. Still 34-33, Tigers lead over the Hillmen. Long 3 from Martell, and he gets the roll. Martell now with 14.
He is a pure shooter. Boy, he didn't even think about it. Just put that ball up.
And Brooks gets the quick steal. Nice move to evade. A quick turnover. All alone. Nice shot fake. Easy 2 for Tariq.
Biggest lead of the game now for the Tigers, 6 points.
Ante getting pressured from Brooks. Gets it up to Roberts, who thought about the 3, into Lovelace. Kicks it out to Lillis for 3, and Lillis finally misses one. Now Roberts from the right side. Kicks to Ante. Pass for Lovelace picked off. There's Crocker. And Crocker will get to the line.
They missed a pass inside down the other side. Lovelace all by himself was in position. They just didn't find him.
That foul is on Ante, his 3rd. Crocker's first free throw is no good.
Ante's going to come out. They're going to go with Jordan Ferrara.
Also in the game for Inderkum, Anthony Canady, number 10. That free throw is good for Crocker. That bumps him up to 10 points tonight.
7-point lead by the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers found some defense this half. It's a corral by Lovelace over to Willis. Willis, nice shot fake. And he's fouled.
It's a good move by Lillis. When you're not scoring from the outside and can't seem to find a shot, it's best you try to get to the line. Placer as far as I can tell, has only scored 2 points the entire quarter.
They have. And that free throw is a bit short. Still a 7-point lead for the Tigers. Placer also with 4 team fouls already in this quarter. Just 2 for the Tigers. Second free throw from Lillis is no good. Rebound taken by Crocker. There's a 3 on the way from Brooks. Brooks doesn't get the roll. Lovelace gets the rebound. And that's almost picked off by Crocker, who has some fantastic moves. And let's not forget, he's a sophomore. We've got 2 more years of high school left.
Let's go, Placer! Let's go, Placer! Let's go, Placer!
The Hillmen have no underclassmen on their roster.
Let's go, Placer! Let's go, Placer! Let's go, Placer!
In fact, they only have a 9-man roster. Inderkum came into this game with 15. Roberts almost got picked. He recovers. Shot no good. Rebound taken by Bible.
They got to make those shots.
There's a 3 on the way off the backboard and in. Max Upchurch puts it in. And Mark Lee takes a timeout. Inderkum extends their lead to 10. 43-33 over the Hillmen. And we will take a break. We'll be back with the remaining 2:26 in the third quarter on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Hi, everybody. Gil Dominguez.
And Teresa Dietrich.
And we welcome Pioneer Motors to the NorCal Game of the Week.
Pioneer Motors is where you go for trucks. We have a huge selection of lowered, lifted, and four-wheel drive trucks.
At Pioneer Motors, we have a huge selection of all-wheel drive vehicles like Audi, Volvo, and Toyotas, to name a few. Looking for a fun car to drive? Come on down to Pioneer Motors and see our huge selection of Mini Coopers, hatchbacks, and luxury cars too.
Remember, it's Pioneer Motors right here in Grass Valley.
The best cars at the best prices with great friendly customer care.
With this huge selection, why go anywhere else? Shop local.
Back at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium, Placer Hillmen have an uphill battle, and they've got 10:26 to make up 10 points. These Inderkum Tigers have been making some insane shots. They're getting a lot of second and third chance opportunities. And Placer needs to find some sort of defense for all of the offensive threats that the Tigers brought into the gym tonight. Lovelace takes the shot and he hits it. Lovelace with 16.
When you're not making your outside shots, that's where you got to go. Lovelace is going to have to carry this team on his back here.
And that dribble is picked off by Jenkins. And Placer down 8. There's Roberts for 3. In and out. Lovelace, second chance, and he puts it in.
(37-43), Placer trails.
Another pass almost picked off. Down low, Bible and Lillis. That's almost picked off by Jenkins. Nice shot fake. There's a 2. Air ball. Lovelace with the rebound. And we're down to a minute left in the third quarter. Lovelace for 3. No good. Bible the rebound. And now we have a late foul called. It's a deserved foul, I will say that, the first on Jeremy Lillis, but referee sure waited a while to make that call.
Placer, though, does now have 5 team fouls, Steve. And we're only a minute left in the third period. That's significant. Only 2 fouls for the Tigers.
With a wide open 3 from Upchurch. No good. Second chance, no good. And now with a 1 second differential from the game clock to the shot clock, Jenkins gets it into the half court. Lovelace thought about the 3, chooses not to. Roberts, nice save with the left hand. That pass is knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Hillmen. And there was a great shot of both head coaches with their arms up in the opposite direction.
Yes, it was.
That's a mirror image of coaches Mark Lee and Rodney Hamer. 22 seconds on the game clock, 21 on the shot clock. Placer can get the last shot of the third quarter. They trail 43-37. Lillis takes the fadeaway 3, no good. Rebound taken by Bible. And with 10 seconds, now Inderkum has a chance for the last shot. Down to 5. And they lose the dribble. And before the shot is put up, there is a travel. And we are not going to the quarter just yet. With that travel, there is still less than a second on the game clock. Placer will inbound. They'll have at least a chance to put a shot up. Let's see how much time they put on the clock. As the referee is
1 second.
Correct. They put 1 second. That is certainly enough time for a pass up court. And a quick shot. Not sure it's going to be a great look, but they can at least get it inbounds. And they throw it to Lovelace, no good. Off the backboard. That was a designed play, Paul. They went for that. And now we head to the end of the third quarter. Inderkum Tigers extend their lead by 5, and we'll head to the final quarter. Tigers leading 43-37. So we'll have the last 8 minutes here on YourTouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Placer outscored 11-6 in the third quarter. And this could be the end of the playoff run for the Hillmen if they don't find an outside shooter and quick, because Inderkum is not letting up.
And where Inderkum seems to have a lot of different potential scorers, no one has really stepped up with the exception of Lovelace inside. Lovelace is carrying this team. We need to find a shooter that can hit the 3 ball for Placer.
Well, Inderkum will inbound to start off the fourth quarter. And Placer will pressure the pass, but they end up getting it to Bible in the backcourt.
Coach Mark Lee puts Ante back in the game.
Ante has 3 fouls and no points, but he is a playmaker. Long floater, no good. And Bible keeps that play alive, gets the rebound, shoots the long 2, no good. Rebound by Kearns.
I'd like to see Ryan Jenkins take that shot.
Nice footwork, and Jack Kearns gets his first 2 of the night.
4-point game.
Quickly up court, we're going to have a foul, more than likely on Kearns. That is the 6th team foul on Placer. So it will be free throws for Inderkum the whole rest of the game. And no, I believe this foul is on Ante. That's his 4th.
Isaiah Crocker, the sophomore, has got some speed. Let me tell you what. He puts his head down and he can drive that lane. He just sneaks through there.
Passes for Bible. Nicely defended, and Lovelace gets the rebound. Pass thrown out to Roberts. Roberts for 3, and he hits it.
And did the Placer Hillmen ever need that?
Just like that, it's a 1-point game. And Lovelace gets the block. Lovelace the other way, 2-on-1 to Roberts, and he throws it away.
Lovelace had an opportunity to take it in or pass it off. He chose to pass it. Ends up in a turnover.
And Coach Hamer's going to take a timeout. Let's take a look at Roberts.
And this is the shot from the corner. Sets his body and lays the beautiful spinner right to the heart of the net.
Kern set that play up very well, going right down the middle. I thought he probably could have put it up for the layup, but Roberts was wide open and he needed that shot. 43-42, Inderkum back to a 1-point lead.
And Placer Hillmen now huddling over on the side. There's Mark Lee. He knows what he's got to do here with 7 minutes left. The energy has seemed to have gone now back to the Hillmen.
Yeah, during that third quarter, the entire Inderkum side of the gym was up. Pom-poms were everywhere. And now everyone, including the one super fan wearing number 0, who the Placer fans have been having a nice little rivalry with all game, even he's sitting down.
Jack Kearns has made an impact coming in off the bench, getting a couple of points and making a great defensive play.
.646 left in the fourth quarter. Nice shot fake. That's a long 2. Up, no good. Nice rebound, though, by Upchurch. Another long 2 up. This one in and out, and Ante gets the rebound. There's Kearns. Kearns draws the foul and gets it.
Jack Kearns has stepped up. He says, not in my house, takes it to the rack, and one. Gives Placer a 1-point lead here, and he'll go to the line.
That foul was on Anthony Martell, his first.
Here's a replay, and he was not going to be denied. Sweet drifter catches the foul and puts it away.
That was an identical looking play to the previous when he dished out to Roberts, who hit the 3. This time he chose to keep it and roll it in with the left hand. Jeremy Lillis is back in the game now for Ante. Ante again with 4 fouls. And the free throw is good from Kearns. Kearns now with 5, and Placer leads by 2. Delta's with it. Goes to the corner. Bible was looking for the dish inside, wasn't there. Now an isolation play, and Kearns well defended. Comes out to Crocker though. Fresh shot clock. And there's Bible. Looked like he got hacked, but he still has it, still going. Pops out. Up ahead to Roberts, 2-on-1. Roberts puts it up and in. And Kearns almost picks that off. Just gets it out of bounds though. Kearns found his strength. Placer up by 4.
Hey, Jack Kearns came in, the senior, 6'3" senior, brought some energy, changed the complexion of this Placer offense.
Well, Crocker now, and Crocker is going to draw the foul. That's going to be a foul on Jenkins. So there's the up pass to Roberts.
And watch him go right to the hole. That's some good defense, but he still managed to get it up.
So back to live action. Ryan Jenkins really wanted that charge, but his feet were certainly moving. That'll put Crocker shooting a 1-and-1, as that is Placer's 7th team foul.
Placer up by 4 points now. It just passed the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Trying to do a little maintenance on the floor here.
Well, 2 players went down, so that's roughly a liter and a half of sweat. Well, Crocker with 10 points is shooting a 1-and-1. Placer leads 47-43. The shot is up, rolls out. Lillis with the rebound. So Lovelace gets it into the half court. That pass knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Hillmen. Shot clock's down to 25. And still a 4-point lead for the Hillmen. Jenkins will wait for something to open up. Just gives to Roberts, who will get back to Jenkins quickly to Lovelace, and that is knocked out of bounds. That will stay with Placer. Shot clock down to 12.
Wisely, Lily letting that go out of bounds.
Lillis to Jenkins. Back to Lillis. Shot clock's down to 7. Roberts takes the 3. No good. Lovelace with the putback, no good, but Jenkins comes out with it. They get taken away. Here's Crocker. Crocker puts it up and in. Good break for the Tigers. Give to Lovelace. Knocked out by Crocker. Crocker trying to draw a foul there.
Doesn't get it. Looked good.
It looked all right unless you saw where the elbow really was, nowhere near his chin. And Crocker walks it in.
47-47.
Great individual effort. 14 points for the sophomore. 4:30 remaining. Lovelace to Roberts. Down to Lillis. And Lillis will draw foul.
4th team foul. No blood, they're just inbound.
And that foul is going to be on Anthony Martell, his 2nd. No one on Inderkum has more than 2 fouls.
This is a great basketball game. As many as you and I have done, Steve, this is in the top 5 as far as I'm concerned. These teams are matched up perfectly. We talked about this pregame, 67.4 points for Placer, 67 points for the Tigers. Both teams scoring. That's their average.
Yeah, Coach Hamer takes a timeout for Inderkum. 47-47 with 4:24 left in the fourth quarter. Placer taking on the Inderkum Tigers in the 2nd round of the 2016 playoffs. We'll be back on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. 3rd-generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our 4th location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium, Placer putting on a great offensive showcase and a nice steal by Anthony Martell. Martell gets called for a travel.
That call could have gone either way, Steve. It was right below us here.
Well, Jenkins definitely had his hand on the ball. That could have been a jump ball. Either way, the possession arrow was favoring Placer.
Let's take a look at the replay here. And you see, look, He's got a grab right there. I think Martell got robbed. He should have gotten a foul on that.
Well, I mean, that kind of looked like two receivers going up for the same pass. There was a lot of different contacts going on between both of them. Honestly, I'm all right with that call because he didn't come down very solid with the jump.
Well, we're taking some more time here to clean up the floor.
I think they're just checking to make sure no one's bleeding. Referee says he sees some blood, but can't really see it on any of the players.
Be sure to join us every week. TouchdownProductions.com, bringing you games like the one you're seeing right now.
And I think they've established that it's Jenkins who's got some blood on his arm. Although everyone's looking at their elbows and going, it's not me. It's not me, it must be someone else. All Jenkins is doing is getting a drink of water by the scorer's table. Not really sure what that was all about. But Placer has it, tied at 47. Loveless in trouble, gives to Lillis.
Loveless needs to go back inside. They need his presence inside, right there.
Good call, Paul. Xavier Loveless has 20.
That's where the bread is buttered. Loveless is going to have to come up big in the last 4 minutes.
3:45 left in the fourth quarter. There's a long two. That's very long. Rebound by Bible. Bible up, no good, and he will throw it out of bounds.
Frustration there on Bible's part, missing a couple.
How about this? Tariq Bible is 6'4". Lillis is 6'8".
And Bible plays bigger than Lillis.
And Loveless is 6'5". There are two taller guys, and he is getting inches above them. Lillis thought about the three. He'll walk it in, give to Loveless. Skip to Jenkins.
Jenkins missed the pass to Lillis inside. Now Lillis is going to stay there and get a foul. That's the 5th team foul.
And
on
just
Tigers.
And just the first on Rajan Feltus. Inderkum has 7 players with at least 1 foul. None of them have more than 2. Crocker comes back into the game. The most potent player on the court, both offensively and defensively. Roberts to Loveless. Loveless lays it in.
Didn't try for the tomahawk, just got his 2 and left the scene.
There's Crocker. Crocker draws the foul, gets the 2.
Holy cow. What a great play for Crocker.
That foul is going to be on Lillis, his second.
Isaiah Crocker, the sophomore. Here's the replay. Oh, I beg your pardon. No, this is Loveless laying it in there rather than going for the slam dunk.
Back to live action with 1 free throw from Crocker is good.
1-point game now, 3 minutes to play.
Crocker has 17 points. Quickly up court. Down to Loveless. Loveless gives to Kearns. Kearns can't handle it. So back out they go, 24 on the shot clock. There's a 3 from Loveless. No good. Kearns tried to mix things up, but just ends up knocking it out of bounds. 51-50 with 2:45 left in the fourth quarter. So Ante will come back in the game now for Jack Kearns. Ante again with 4 fouls.
When Ante's on the floor, this team is better. I like him being on the floor, even though he hasn't had a great scoring night. His presence and his defense is always appreciated.
There's a 3 on the way. No good. Loveless comes down with the rebound. Tries to get it knocked away, but he hangs onto it into the half court. There's the pass into Ante. No good. Rebound taken by the Tigers, and now we've got a late foul call. That's going to be a frustration foul on Tariq Bible. That is big. Looks like he gave Jeremy Lillis a little shove behind the play. There was a referee right on it.
Those are the kind of fouls that'll drive a coach crazy here in the last minutes of the playoff game.
Quick inbound to Loveless. Loveless gets it knocked out of his hands and he kicks it out of bounds. Oh, but they say it went out of bounds on Inderkum.
There it is there.
Well, let's take a look. This happens behind the play.
Okay. And
yep, right in the paint. Bible just hangs on to Lillis, who's trying to back off. Meanwhile, back to live action. Placer gets a huge break. That pass is knocked out of bounds, stays with Placer. 28 on the shot clock. Placer again leads 51-50.
And this Inderkum team is on its defensive game right now, challenging every ball in every player's face.
They have 4 excellent ball handlers on the floor right now. Both teams have great ball handlers. And there's a blocking foul.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think that's much of a foul there.
Neither do I. I do believe Roberts tripped on his own feet. But more importantly, that is team foul number 7 on the Tigers. So that will be a 1-and-1 for Marcus Ante, who is scoreless tonight.
And Ante is an excellent free throw shooter.
And in and out. Rebound taken by Bible. Back to Ante. Ante lays it in. Inderkum quickly up court though. And that's going to be a foul on the shooting attempt. That was very close.
Here's a replay and watch closely here as he falls. See, I just didn't see a foul there.
Back to live action.
Ante missed the free throw.
Roberts called for the foul. This will be 2 shots for Tariq Bible. That is his 4th point.
53-51 now, 2-point game. Placer leads.
Closes the gap.
1:53 on the clock.
And Bible misses the free throw. Lillis gets the rebound, but it's knocked out of his hands. Crocker, and 1. That was a big-time frustrate foul.
Yes, but you know, Crocker did all the work there, slapped the ball away, created the turnover, goes up now, has a chance.
And that foul is on Marcus Ante. That's his 5th. He's gone.
Let's see who Mark Lee puts in to replace Ante. You got to hand it to Isaiah Crocker, the sophomore, number 13. He strongest player on the floor right now. Isaiah's only 6'1", 150 pounds, but already as a sophomore plays above the rim.
Looking back on this game, no matter which team wins, it's going to be hard not to go, well, the officiating, because this has been an inconsistent game for both teams.
For both teams, Steve. I think both teams have equally had their share of turnovers and fouls.
Well, with that, Crocker has 20 points. So he's been playing a great game regardless of all
press
other
now,
factors.
man to man.
Inderkum Tigers lead 54-53, and now we've got a foul called. So Loveless is going to shoot 1-and-1.
With his team down by a point.
That's the 3rd personal foul on Isaiah Crocker. With both these free throws, Placer takes a 1-point lead again. 54-53, Inderkum on top. And Loveless hits the first. Xavier Loveless has 23 points. (54-54) and 55-54 as Loveless hits them both.
Placer's got to play some D now, and it looks like Coach Hamer is going to take a timeout. Let's go to break here We'll be back here at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium, bring you to the end of this fantastic basketball game in 30 seconds. We'll see you then.
Hi, everybody. Gil Dominguez.
And Teresa Dietrich.
And we welcome Pioneer Motors to the NorCal Game of the Week.
Pioneer Motors is where you go for trucks. We have a huge selection of lowered, lifted, and four-wheel drive trucks.
At Pioneer Motors, we have a huge selection of all-wheel drive vehicles like Audi, Volvo, and Toyotas, to name a few. Looking for a fun car to drive? Come on down to Pioneer Motors and see our huge selection of Mini Coopers, hatchbacks, and luxury cars too.
Remember, it's Pioneer Motors right here in Grass Valley.
The best cars at the best prices with great friendly customer care.
With this huge selection, why go anywhere else?
Shop local.
1:33 left in the fourth quarter here at the Earl Crabbe Gymnasium. Placer leads the Inderkum Tigers 55-54.
Minute 33 left, and Placer has possession. I beg your pardon, Inderkum has possession.
If it comes up, the Tigers do have the possession arrow. Oh, excuse me, they just changed it. Placer has the possession arrow. Well, the scorer's table and the scoreboard disagree on who has the arrow, so we'll hold off on speculation about that. Chris Brooks, runner, puts it in.
Beauty.
1 point lead. Quickly up to Roberts. Roberts in the half court. Throws it across. Three on the way. It's good! Jack Kearns!
What a basket that was!
2 point lead. And we've got a charge.
Clearly a charge. No question, Isaiah Crocker trying to force the action. Puts his head down, his shoulder into it.
Ryan Jenkins has been trying to draw a charge for this entire game, and he finally does. That's the fourth foul on Isaiah Crocker.
There it is here now. Wow.
That's a close one.
That is a close one. He did not have his feet set, but he was out of control. It's hard to give him a defensive foul when he's so out of control.
He did take full shoulder to chest.
Went right down. He didn't have any. Yeah.
58-56. A minute 5 in this game. Inderkum is not in the intentional foul stage yet. Kearns gets into the half court, flips it over to Roberts. Quickly down low for Lillis.
They're going to burn clock here.
That's a good call. Over to Roberts. Across for Loveless. Loveless fakes the three.
16 seconds on the shot clock still, Steve.
This is still dangerous if they just need a basket. There are plenty of three-point shooters on this Inderkum team. Loveless shot fake, takes the two. In and out. Gets his own rebound. It's in!
Big basket by Placer, puts him up by 4.
It's a two-possession game. Shot clock is off. Down to 20. Crocker draws the foul, puts it in.
Isaiah Crocker is carrying the Tiger team on his back. Clearly the strongest legs on the floor, fastest to the basket. He's just going to go to the basket and say, I'm either going to get a shot or you can foul me. Here's a replay on that.
First foul on Loveless.
How pretty is that?
Excellent.
Great basket.
Excellent individual effort.
And when you figure also it's 19 seconds left in a championship game, they're down by 4 points. Now they're only down by 2. He's at the line. The Tigers are going to go to the foul game. And here's a replay of the last Placer point.
Watch Loveless follow his shot.
Gets a tip ball. Has enough strength to put it back.
Just playing a little 21 out there.
So now it's going to boil down to free throws, Steve, and I I predicted the game was going to be like this. I think it's going to go into overtime. Very good possibility.
Well, here's what you do if you're Inderkum. There's still 19 seconds left. You have 19 fouls. I think you have to make this shot. Before you do anything, you have to make this shot. Keep this a 1-point game. Don't try and force this into overtime, even though I do think overtime favors Inderkum. If you can win this in regulation, just do it. Don't leave it up to chance. 60-58, Placer leads. And it's in and out. Lillis with the rebound. You have to foul him, and he does. Chris Brooks takes his 3rd foul, 10th team foul, and Jeremy Lillis will shoot 2. He is 0 for 2 from the line. That's the guy you want to foul. That's the best case scenario, although you really wanted that free throw to fall before you foul Lillis.
Now, Jeremy arguably is one of the best players on their team, and we've seen him win games all by himself here. I remember him being a good free throw shooter. Let's see if he can handle this pressure.
With that, he makes it a 3-point game. Tariq Bible will come in now for Chris Brooks. Excuse me, for Rajan Feltus. Brooks still out on the court. Second shot is good. Inderkum down by 4. Crocker up, no good. Lillis, rebound. Lillis got the whistle. It's a jump ball, not a foul.
And it's going to go to the Tigers. We have a man down, though, holding
Crocker.
his ankle. It's Crocker. He is in tears.
Yeah, he is being looked at.
Let's see if we can see when Crocker turns his ankle, goes all the way to the basket. Lands on the left ankle wrong. Missed the shot.
So let's see this one more time.
Nothing really right there. But you know, he went up awkwardly, and it may have been that he either landed on it or when he took off, he tweaked it.
He grabs it right away on the landing.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have tried to land on it if he did it in the approach.
Well, we got 9 seconds left on the clock, and we have a man down here.
And this is where that jump ball confusion comes into play. Paul, if you take a look at the scoreboard, the possession arrow is pointing towards Inderkum, but you look at the scorer's table, it's pointing towards Placer.
So one more time on the replay. And you can see it. And they're going to get him up. There he lands on. They're going to get him up now, but he's going to be carried.
Yeah, he's putting. They're not even going to let him put weight on his good leg. Isaiah Crocker.
Best player on the floor, Steve. You'd have to hand him
4 fouls, 22 points.
22 points. Most valuable player, certainly on the Tiger team.
Meanwhile, back to live action. That is
4-point game here. Placer need to escape just for the last 9 seconds of the game. You can bet on the fact they're going to get fouled immediately.
Take a look at that fourth quarter scoring, though. Placer, 25 points. They only had 31 total in the first half. They scored 25 in this quarter.
So they're going to get the ball in here.
If they can. Quick foul.
Less than a second.
Yeah, that's the 4th foul on Brooks. That will send Ryan Jenkins to the line. Jenkins with 6. And Xavier Lovelace with 26 points. Leads all scorers.
We're going to put Lovelace back now and let him defend.
Well, these free throws don't mean anything. They're up by 4. You want to defend no fast breaks.
And And like it was just another day at the park, Ryan Jenkins sinks the first one.
5-point game. And that's a 6-point game. Have to shoot the long three, and they do. No good. Put back. No good. Third chance is good, but that won't be enough for the Inderkum Tigers. 63-60 is your final.
What a treat this basketball game was. And I gotta say, the momentum turned when they put Jack Kearns back in the game, Steve. It was a team effort. There was really no individual player. I mean, we got Lovelace, who scored an awful lot of points, but there was a contribution from all the starters and bench players on the Placer Hillmen. I wouldn't even want to venture who's the player of the game.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers for Placer. Xavier Lovelace with 26 points. Roberts with 12. And there is Isaiah Crocker. He is still being attended to. And since he couldn't be up for the handshake, all the Placer players went to him. And boy, did he earn their respect. He earned everyone's respect in this building tonight. To continue on with the Placer scoring, Roberts with 12. Jenkins, Kearns, and Lillis all had 8.
Wow.
And Kearns went into that fourth quarter with 0. All 8 of those points were in the fourth quarter. For Inderkum, Crocker leading scorer with 22, Martell with 14, Max Upchurch with 10, Brooks with 6, Bible with 4, and Feltus with 4. And that was just one heck of a basketball game. 63-60, Placer on top.
So with the singing of their alma mater, as it is a tradition here at Placer High School, the Hillmen move on. They'll go to a third playoff game. We're yet to know who exactly it is they will play.
And let's talk player of the game really quickly. 63-60. This could really go to about anyone.
It really could. And like I said, this was such a team effort. We had Jack Kearns coming in and making a huge contribution late in the game. We have Jeremy Lillis, who is always good. Xavier Lovelace, well, what we got, Steve? We got 26 points.
Yep, 26.
How do you not call his number when it comes to the player of the game?
If it's up to me, I give it to Kearns. Because let's look at it. Lillis was hot early, those 2 big threes. He was big late in a defensive capacity. Roberts was, pretty average throughout the whole game, hit a couple big threes.
Right.
He was there. Jack Kearns lit it up in the fourth quarter. He was everywhere. He was the best player in that last 8 minutes when Placer was down big.
Certainly for the Hillmen. And you remember, Kearns made that 3 ball from the left corner that really turned the tide. They needed the points that put them ahead by 1. Gosh, he'd be a good one. He'd be a good call. But I'll tell you, Steve, I'm not going to do it. I think it was a team effort on the Hillman side. If you want to call a player of the game, I'm going to leave it to you to do that.
I think we give it to Jack Kearns. Because Lovelace was great. He was big when they needed him to be big. When was the last time they needed Kearns to be big? There was really no one. When we were looking down that 5 going into the fourth quarter, we were going, who's it going to be? It's got to be Lovelace, right? Kearns blew it out of the water.
He came in with energy. He came in with defense. He was the presence on the floor. We're going to give our player of the game to Jack Kearns, and we'll watch the Placer Hillmen move on in the playoffs for the first time in a number of years.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to go down to...
they'll go to the semifinals.
Yeah, they're going down to Tokay.
To Tokay.
So, final game.
Steve, this has been a great season. I've enjoyed working with you. This is our final broadcast of the season for TouchdownProductions.com, and we hope you certainly have enjoyed it and followed us. Check us out on Facebook. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. But it's always a great time, Steve, and look forward to seeing you again next season.
Oh, absolutely. And this is basically a machine, moderately well-oiled machine most of the time. And the crew has been fantastic. We've had a lot of new cameramen come in, and it's been a learning experience for everyone, as it always is. But you know, Marty always there backing us up. Mr. Bear River, he's as steady as they come.
Absolutely, and of course we've got Gil Dominguez, who makes it all happen. Gil doesn't get nearly enough face time, and that's by design, purposely. But Gil is the man that drives the truck and sets it up and gets it all done, and we need to have him in front of the camera more often. Gil, thank you for letting us play in your sandbox another season. There's your executive producer, Gilbert M. Dominguez, Giovanni Paulo, Cody Hitchcock, Dylan Peshik. Dylan, sorry I pushed you out of the way earlier. Super Steve Sitter. We just named you that, and that one's going to stick. Steve, you are super.
Where's my Touchdown Productions cape?
My golly, we'll get you one. If I have to go out and buy it myself. Remote Facilities, the commander, too. Website, Lynn Dominguez, who actually runs the place, but we just don't know that. Placer Tire and Auto Service, and Reeby's Auto Parts help us out with the commander maintenance. Touchdown Accounting, Cinto Group. If you like what you see, we'd really appreciate it if you just send us a quick email. touchdownproductions.com. Get online. Subscribe if you like what you see, and give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Tell your friends. This is Paul Brown with Super Steve Sitter signing off for another basketball season. Thanks all. Good night.